So this is the room. Absolutely incredible. And welcome to Antarctica. So this photography trip has been organised by Nigel Danson and Aurora Expeditions. And we also have on the trip James Popsys.
James, is that you using a tripod?
No, don't be silly. No? I'm not James.
Got you on video, mate. You'll show this to the world.
No. It's 600mm. Let me off.
And Adam Gibbs.
Look, you've done that before.
Many a time.
So all of these incredible landscape photographers, and then me, an astrophotographer, in Antarctic summer. But I'm determined to take an astrophotograph on this trip, and there's way more challenges than just the sun. But I'm going to try my best, so stick around. Our first stop on our way down to the Antarctic Peninsula was Wayla's Bay on Deception Island, which is a huge caldera of an active volcano that erupted as recently as 1969. It is also home to a whaling station that was active in the early 1900s, and so the buildings were now pretty dilapidated, although you might say they were holding up well considering the harsh environment. Now, it's not my normal subject for photography, but I really enjoyed capturing this remote location that was rich in history. It was a really thought-provoking place. And I did try to vlog, but so it was pretty tough conditions for photography, but I enjoyed capturing the local wildlife against the backdrop of the now abandoned station. And there were Antarctic fur seals and Gen 2 penguins scattered all around, but when the winds unexpectedly picked up to over 60 knots, even they began to bail, and we had to get out of there pretty quickly, because it certainly wasn't nice having sand blown in your face at 70 miles an hour. Sadly, that wind put an end to our outdoor activities that day, so we had some photography lectures on board whilst we continued our journey south. Oh, incredible. Just driving around the icebergs and the zodiacs. Incredibly big one here. Just so much wildlife. Different breeds of seals, different breeds of penguins and birds, just everywhere. The abundance of wildlife is pretty mind-blowing. It's absolutely beautiful. We finally got to see a little bit of blue sky, sun breaking through. I really want clear skies at night to see the night sky. But I can't complain, this is absolutely incredible. So this was one of my favourite images of the trip. I loved the depth with the round boulders in the foreground, the glacier in the midground, and then the epic mountain range backdrop, which was aptly named Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But the penguins in the foreground just complete the image for me, being able to capture them so close using a wide angle and capturing them in their natural habitat. Just really makes the image for me. And that morning before we headed out for the Zodiac cruise, I captured another of my favourite images from the trip, and it was this distant ship that I captured with a 400mm lens. I mean, most of the images you've seen so far were captured with a Sony 100 to 400mm, and my wide-angle images were captured with the Sony 16 to 35 G Master. And this scene I also captured by zooming out to 200mm and doing a panorama, which just has absolutely stunning detail. Welcome to Port Lockroy. This is home to the most southerly post office in the world. I just sent a postcard to a friend in Turkey, so I'm wondering how long it's going to take to get from Antarctica to Turkey. It's also home to some incredible whale bones, which have just absolutely blown my mind. They're huge, absolutely enormous. And it's also home to a penguin colony. As you might hear, it's very noisy here, and it also stinks of penguin poo. Right, it's time to head back to the ship and have lunch. Hopefully lunch is not disturbed by some orca whales again. It's an absolutely incredible day. I mean, it's super clear. Fingers crossed it stays like this tonight and we get to see twilight and the stars, and really hoping to see some noctilucent clouds because it's summer down here in Antarctica. So wish us luck and clear skies. Sadly, the clear skies didn't last very long. By the time we got to the Lemire Channel, it was pretty overcast, but everybody was out on the decks for this spectacle, passing through a fjord-like gorge, huge steep mountains either side, and there was this real sleek, black, mirrored surface to the water. It was absolutely stunning. And there were icebergs littered throughout the channel. Some of them had penguins and seals on them. Uh-oh. Jump! And I really enjoyed photographing with a wide angle from the top deck and getting an almost drone-like perspective on these icebergs. That evening after dinner, we took a night cruise in the Zodiacs around some icebergs, and some of them were just enormous. I really enjoyed capturing them with a wide angle, trying to somehow portray their size by shooting them in the open ocean and against this really dramatic sky. little signs of the clouds breaking up with some blue skies, but not very optimistic for Astro anymore. Oh man, but look at these.
So I'm going to move forward a bit to camera.
Absolutely incredible.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So with the skies pretty overcast and feeling absolutely exhausted, got a good night's sleep and woke up to the most beautiful sunrise. Beautiful as the sunrise was, it was the one night that I didn't get up to check the stars. I felt like I'd missed an opportunity. I was burning upset at myself for not waking up and getting a sight of the stars. It might have been cloudy when it was dark, I don't know. But I just feel like I've missed a chance. And as you've seen in most of the footage, Antarctica is a pretty cloudy place. It's not going to give many opportunities to see the stars.
I'll give you all of what I've got. Things, baby, I have not. Just gonna love you. Yeah, I'm gonna love you.
Grace just told me that it was cloudy last night, so I feel a little less bad for not waking up, and definitely a lot more happy.
How fun was that?
After this exhilarating Zodiac ride, we've been cruising through, bombing through the icebergs on the Zodiac. It's been amazing fun. And shortly we're going to go land and go see a penguin colony. So looking forward to that.
Golden trinkets, mobile phone, expensive shoes, you can get your own. Just gonna love you. Yeah, I'm gonna love you. Just gonna love you.
A few things here on the beach. On your right, to my left, there's a Gen 2 rookery. The chicks are quite young. They're quite developed by now, but you'll be able to see them over there. We're going to keep in mind the 15-metre rule. There's also a fur seal there just before the rookery. Rosie's over there if you've got any questions. We've closed off this area behind, so we ask you here not to go above that line of ice. This is because we've got all of these Gen 2s which are molting. They are not able to move very easily, they're easily disturbed. So we're going to just stay off that sort of patch behind the ice line there. But of course, feel free to go up to the ice, take photos, go and enjoy them.
So the light is super harsh now, it's coming up to midday, and I'm exhausted, so I'm just going to sit on the beach and enjoy watching the penguins and hopefully get some slow-mo stuff. then something amazing happened. I turned around to see a solar halo, a rare atmospheric phenomenon caused by ice crystals in the atmosphere. I desperately tried to capture it with some penguins in the foreground, but I felt that the beach was quite busy, so I ran to the end of the other side, where there was a more snowy foreground, and got this almost cult-like image of these sun-worshipping penguins with the solar halo. So I think this counts as an astrophoto. It's an atmospheric phenomenon. We've got a solar halo. So there's ice crystals up in the upper atmosphere, refracting the light of the sun, causing that ring around the sun. I think that counts as an astrophoto. I'm taking it. Clearest skies I've seen in a very long time.